this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So let's talk about today. Last night was a pretty interesting experience in the astrals, and I just got up feeling really down, to the point where like I got up and I immediately started crying. And then I went back to rest and, eventually got out of bed, went to the kitchen, meal prepped for some, food, and then went outside. When I first went out, it was barely sunny, and the neighbors right across the street were staring. One of them was staring at, the window where I rest in, and once I saw that, I knew there was gonna be some BS. So I went outside and it was pretty cloudy, surprise. But I just, sat with the atmosphere, did some meditation. There were some disruptions, but I still allowed myself as best as I could to take some breaths and introduce myself to the day, regardless of me being outside or inside. But after that, and I cooked, and then one of the roommates came back and the sun was outside, so then I was also folding laundry, and then I came outside. And I guess what I wanted to share was a small little discovery that I made today, right now, which I'm looking forward to exploring. But singing. I've constantly heard people speak, carbonated beings, about how we used to communicate with the land and, talk to the land, and the land would speak to us. And I've had this deep desire to know what that's like. So, I tried meditation and opening myself up to the elements, the land, the plants, Mother Gaia, the Great Mother, all of it. And then there has been times I verbally said stuff. There's been times that I then, say stuff in my head, and it's definitely stronger, the connection with the land, when I have explored communicating with the land in my head. And I suspect, as of today, that is because our natural mode of communication is telepathy, which is the ability to read and perceive thoughts and communicate through your mind. Our natural mode of communication is getting turned back on as we speak each and every day. We've always had it. It's just been an extremely decreased state. But we're getting, because of the Kundalini energy rising, the planet warming, second sun coming back into the atmosphere, us remembering who we are, all of these factors and elements is going to get turned back all the way on. So what happened today? After I came outside and it was sunny, now they're doing the same shenanigans and it's cloudy as hell. But, I just want to share the positive news that I, just kind of experienced, which was me being outside in the front yard. And I was just chilling with one of the bushes and thinking about trying to get it to move a certain way. And then I just let that go. And out of nowhere, I felt the impulse to sing. And I started, this tune, these words just started coming to my mind, and, they didn't make full sense. Some of them rhymed, some of them didn't, but there was a beat and a flow. And whenever the flow stopped, if I couldn't think of a word, I continued and tried to grab a word from somewhere else. And, allowed the harmony, melody, and tune beat to change, go wherever it wanted to go. And with that, the branches that I was sitting next to, immediately, they were just responding. It was so interesting and fun. It just brought me back to being a kid and this element of play that I feel this matrix, the job is to snuff it out of us, and they definitely snuffed it out of me. But today, out of nowhere, that's just what rose up inside of me. And the impact that it had was that these bushes immediately started coming to life. The air started just around me. The energy just got brought up in this space. And so, me being me, I was like, was that really me? Or was that, just the wind? It wasn't just the wind. I did it again. And I decided to change the beat. Instead of it being bum 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 to, da 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 da. This is why I sing in my head. You have more of a range. But making it slow, like more of a, let's say an S shape, the pathway that melody flows, versus an up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And through that, I was exploring and seeing how the bushes reacted, and the bushes not only reacted, but I feel I got to know a little more of the personality, as out there as that sounds, to which bushes prefer, at least in the moment that I just decided to play today, the bum 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 bumpity bum 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 bum, or the do 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 do, or something completely different. They will respond. It'll first start with maybe a section of the leaves, and then it'll continue. But that was the discovery in the moment of play that I had, instead of continuing to try to get the branches to move, or to go the way that I wanted them to go. Just sing, play, have fun. It reminded me of all these Disney films that I've seen since I was a kid, or just kids' films, period. They have to tell the truth. It may not be in the most noticeable way, but all that information was put in these films of these characters that are full of life and want to share all of their feelings with the land. And they do it through what? They do it through song. So us verbally communicating is a lower, us being at a lower frequency versus how we were communicating telepathically. So making the link that this is how we communicate telepathically, us singing in our minds. First off, just communicating with the land or element in your mind here. But then deciding to hum or sing a melody either to this element or share it with this element, goes up to another higher frequency. It's another tier. And I kept moving around the front yard to explore this and just play. And then to one of the trees. And they each responded differently. Now, because I view trees as being, elders. They've been here a long time. I just had the impulse to do a slower, hum, melody, whatever. And the branches, through me continuing to do that, began to respond. And, this area over here, they responded. But to me, it makes sense that not every single bush is going to respond to the same melody or pace that you send out musically in your mind. Because, just like how we are, these roots are connected deep underneath, and just how we are deeply connected deep within through the dark matter energy within us, through all of our souls and our consciousness, our energy bodies. We each prefer different music. Some of us prefer R&B, some of us prefer classical, and within those genres we each have our favorite artists, right? And our favorite songs. Same thing. with these plants of Atlantis, with the land. Now I'm definitely curious, how will the water respond? How will the fire respond? How will... I feel I got to explore, both Gaia and the air today, but yeah, that's my little discovery for the day that I definitely wanted to share. And the best part is I had fun doing it. It took literally no energy. Okay, it might have took a little energy when I was trying to make the words rhyme in the beginning, and then I let that go and just, whatever words came to me, and if it changed the flow, allowing it to change and take me wherever it wanted to go, and playing with the difference of not only the melody and the speed and the volume in my head, but the highs and the lows. Another mosquito. I apologize. But the voices, like with these Disney characters, like in my mind, I'm hearing, let's say, how they sound in some of these films, with the upper range, soprano range, whether it's, like a female voice or what would be the equivalent of like a boy's voice. And then going the whole range of just all the voices that I've heard ever sing. Let's just experiment with sending this one out and this one out and this one out. And what range, the tone, the volume. Am I singing you a lullaby? Do I want to share this moment with you? Am I trying to get you to bop to the beat? Maybe not making that the goal, but just what kind of came up organically in me while exploring these different hums and tunes, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, and it's all real. I decided playing with multiple bushes, and they each responded. Bushes, trees, they each responded. So if you want to test it out, I definitely encourage you to test it out, because that spark inside of you has always been inside of you, and the land remembers. The land will respond. Yeah, I feel blessed. The icing on the cake through all of this is, sometimes when I'm in meditation, flies land on me. That's not the icing, but I just, stay in meditation and they eventually go away. I thought a fly landed on me, but while I was singing in my head, at this moment I was just humming, but two different beats, like whether I was, making something up or pulling something from some song from my past that I've heard, either through the media or in person, maybe in choir. I eventually looked over on my left forearm and there was a bee. And that bee was just flying right on me. Not flying on me, excuse me, crawling on me. And just having a ball. So, yeah, definitely explore singing. I felt blessed, today with that bee. Things just made sense. So, yeah, that might happen. Nature will respond. And I didn't feel afraid. The bee didn't feel afraid. When I looked away, it ended up flying away. But then it came back to the leaf that was literally like right here in this area right here. And then after I made my focus, going back to here and began humming again, it flew right back on my arm and just kept exploring and crawling and just chilling. I wasn't afraid it was going to sting me. It wasn't afraid that I was going to hurt him or her. So yeah, that was my little gift I'm looking at from the Great Mother. after choosing to just play for a little bit of time today. So get outside. You can do this during the day when it's sunny. You can do this right now when it's cloudy. You can do it when it's rainy. You can do it when it's any type of weather, you know? And the best part is no one's gonna hear you, because I know my voice, I'm just gonna say it, it's just, some days I'm like, oh damn, that's how I sound. But when you're in your head, there's so much more room to play with range, tone, etc. There's so many more colors you can tap into. And you can use words, or you can just hum some type of beat, and the land will respond. So get out there and play. Get out there and sing. That's the video for today. I want to send peace, courage, protection, and divine cosmic love to all divine 93 beings, Atlanteans, who are on their journey of remembering their divinity and remembering who they are. Peace.